More details on Ace Steel's current status in All Elite Wrestling, what he can and can't do, and why he's not backstage for AEW Collision tapings. LuFisto praises CM Punk amidst all the current controversy surrounding the real AEW World Champion. Thunder Rosa, what's her status for AEW All In? And Darby Allin says the TNT Championship has lost all its value. Hey guys, welcome back to Wrestling News 365. Hope everyone is doing very well. As always, there are plenty of news stories to get into in the world of All Elite Wrestling. Let's start off talking about Ace Steel and what he's currently doing or not doing in All Elite Wrestling. According to Sean Rossap of Fightful Select, Ace Steel is back in AEW. Well, technically, Ace Steel was brought back to the company ahead of AEW Collision launching and is on the company payroll, but he won't be in the buildings and hasn't been thus far. Sources confirmed in May to Fightful Select that due to the brawl-out situation, he was told that he was considered an insurance risk, that's a quote, an insurance risk, and wouldn't be permitted to attend the shows. After months of being out of the fold, Fightful have learned that Steele met with Tony Khan in recent months and spoke about wrestling. Ultimately, it was decided he could return to AEW in some capacity while not being on the road and would be permitted to seek work outside of All Elite Wrestling as well. The word was that his deal is up in the fall of 2024, of course that being the fall of next year, around this time, a little bit, just over a year away. Now, Steele supposedly confers on a lot of things and having periodic conversations with the AEW president Tony Khan and suggesting things for CM Punk specifically. It was also suggested that he received back pay for the time that he was out. So what are your thoughts on these latest developments when it comes to Ace Steel? Do you think we'll ever see a situation where indeed he does return back to AEW in a backstage capacity, actually being at the shows, or is this just a case whereby, hey, he's going to be on the payroll until his contract expires and then officially he's going to be let go? Let me know your thoughts about that in the comment section below. Now, let's talk about LuFisto and how she's praised CM Punk. An independent pro wrestler, LuFisto, who had previously accused an AEW star of keeping her out of the company and also took shots at the AEW women's division, has backed CM Punk following the recent backstage issues between Punk and several AEW stars. LuFisto posted 2 photos of her with Punk and called him a, quote, class act and a true gentleman in the interactions that she has had with him. Quote, one person's personal experience is not A, the gospel truth, B, facts, C, anything but one perspective influenced by personal experience and interaction. Every time I met CM Punk, he was always a true gentleman, a class act, and fun to be around, said LuFisto. Of course, LuFisto has previously wrestled in AEW, with her sole appearance coming in an episode of AEW Dark Elevation last year, where she was in a 6-person tag team match. She was not signed by the company and later claimed that certain stars in AEW have too much power, with rumors of backstage issues between her and Dr. Britt Baker, DMD. Several AEW stars later spoke out against the allegations made by LuFisto and the unity in the AEW's locker room. CM Punk, meanwhile, he's been the eye of the storm in AEW over the last few days, with him reportedly having issues with a few wrestlers behind the scenes, which includes the likes of Hangman Adam Page, Ryan Nemeth, and more recently Jungle Boy Jack Perry, although their altercation, the timeline of it is kind of disputed. Punk seemingly has an unofficial producer role backstage on AEW Collision, and he has had a few run-ins with AEW stars, while his real-life feud with the members of the Elite continues, with the former AEW World Champion sparking tensions between him and the group last week with an off-the-air promo about Hangman Adam Page, a promo which he reportedly later apologized for. Now, as I mentioned, CM Punk's name has been a hot topic lately, with reports claiming he stopped certain talent from getting a chance to work on AEW Collision. However, according to the latest Wrestling Observer Radio, Punk himself was denied the chance to be involved in a recent encounter. According to Wrestling Observer Radio, Punk wanted to potentially be involved in the latest Blood and Guts match, which saw the Golden Elite face members of the Blackpool Combat Club, Konosuke Takeshita, and Pac. However, other people that were involved in the bout seemed to have no idea that Punk wanted to be a part of it. Management could potentially have opted to keep Punk's desire to themselves, but ultimately he wasn't brought into the mix, even though it could have made storyline sense due to his high-profile history with the Elite. Wrestling Observer Radio further says that Punk was interested in being part of the G1 Climax tournament as well, but that's something that was never seen as likely to take place. Fans, of course, have wanted to see Punk interact inside the ring against the Young Bucks Kenny Omega and Adam Page due to the infamously chaotic situation that unfolded backstage after All Out last last year. Punk seemingly felt Blood and Guts could have been that time, as there were holes to be filled due to Bryan Danielson getting hurt, but management went in a different direction as the company is trying to currently keep CM Punk and the Elite separate. Now, Dave Meltzer has also weighed in on Punk's involvement in AEW Collision, as well as AEW management's reaction to everything that's been going on with him since he's returned for the Collision debut episode. As I mentioned, CM Punk has been an integral part of AEW Collision since the show premiered on June 17. However, the Chicago-born wrestler has been in the headlines recently for taking more shots at Hangman Adam Page and allegedly having certain AEW personnel removed from the arena at the latest Collision taping. Longtime wrestling journalist Dave Meltzer explained AEW's motivation for having Punk as a leading star on their Saturday night show. He said, quote, "They're doing everything they can to keep him happy," Meltzer said on Wrestling Observer Radio, "because when you are a draw in the business and they feel he is indispensable or close to indispensable, because they allow him to do this because they're trying to launch this show, Collision, on Saturday. And the feeling is, obviously, that having him is more important than having a situation where the head of talent relations can go to a show." Of course, that refers to the head of AEW's talent relations, Christopher Daniels, was reportedly being told to leave the latest Collision taping at CM Punk's request. Quote, "They feel it's more important to keep CM Punk happy because of the attempt to launch on Saturday. The top draws will always have that power, and it's a unique situation because of the feeling that they're trying to get this big giant television deal. And the Saturday shows are very, very important, and they clearly believe that he needs to be on the Saturday show, or there is a great chance that the show will do lower numbers, and in the long run, those lower numbers will mean less money when they do the new TV contract renewal at the expense of the locker room and everything else. So that's the basic situation." Meanwhile, Meltzer suggested that something else happened between Punk and Ryan Nemeth, who was also reportedly removed from Saturday's Collision taping at the request of Punk, outside of their alleged backstage confrontation in June. Additionally, Meltzer said that Punk has the, quote, "power, although it's not written, to kick people out of events, that AEW CEO Tony Khan has given him that ability." So again, certainly a lot of mess going on with CM Punk at the moment. Certainly interesting developments when it comes to the Real World Champion, and praise he's received from LuFisto there. Let's talk about Thunder Rosa and her current status and plans for AEW All-In at London's Wembley Stadium. While it's been quite some time since fans have seen Thunder Rosa inside of an AEW ring, that doesn't mean she's been around the promotion. Performing Spanish commentary duties for AEW TV since February, she's been actually on the road for quite a while now, and it appears she'll be continuing those duties for the biggest event in AEW history. On Twitter, Rosa revealed that she will be providing Spanish commentary from All-In at London's Wembley Stadium in just a week and a half. Rosa appears ready to have a busy trip over to the UK, as she's also put up a poll asking fans if she should hold an autograph signing on August 25th, just 2 days before AEW All-In. Despite Rosa's presence in the Spanish announcing booth, many fans remain anxious about when they'll be able to see her inside of an AEW ring once more. The former AEW Women's World Champion has been out of action for over a year due to a serious back injury. Rosa remained AEW Women's Champion initially, and an interim title was created, but she was eventually forced to vacate the championship a few months later when it became apparent she would be unable to compete moving forward. While there is still no firm date regarding Rosa's in-ring return, it is believed she's closer than ever to occurring and returning to the ring, with Rosa revealing last week she was scheduled for a 5-minute test match prior to AEW Collision this past Saturday night. Upon her return, Rosa is expected to be a key player on the Collision brand, having been advertised for the show since it was announced back in April. So it doesn't look like she's going to be wrestling, but certainly she's closer than ever to making an in-ring return. Finally, Darby Allin has spoken up about the TNT Championship, saying that it's lost pretty much all of its value. Now, last month on the July 22nd edition of AEW Rampage, Darby Allin won the company's Royal Rampage Battle Royal, featuring 20 men competing across 2 rings. By winning the match, Allin got himself a title shot at the TNT Championship on September 3rd at All Out. Appearing on today's AEW Control Center, Allin gave his thoughts on the current state of the championship, which Allin has held twice before. Quote, "I'm going to be honest when I say this. To me, the TNT Championship used to mean something," Allin said. "Within the last year, it felt like it lost all its value. I remember the people that used to hold it, guys like Cody, guys like Brody Lee, myself. Back then, it meant something. Now it's like a hot potato." Now, Darby's criticism is not unfounded. The title has changed hands 6 times in 2023, with Darby winning the championship against Samoa Joe in January, only to drop it back to Joe about a month later. Wardlow and Powerhouse Hobbs have traded the title back and forth before Wardlow was defeated by Luchasaurus with the help of Christian Cage during the debut of AEW Collision on June 17. Though Luchasaurus won the title, Christian Cage seems to have proclaimed himself as the real champion. In addition to speaking about the title, Darby shared some words about both Luchasaurus and Cage, who Allin says, of course, he's going to be facing this Saturday on Collision. He said, quote, "You got a guy like Christian Cage, for example, walking around like he's the champion," Darby continued. "We're not stupid. You're wasting people's time. That championship means more than that. And then you got a dinosaur as a champion that never defends it. What are we doing here?" That is the question. What are we doing here? Let me know your thoughts on what we're doing here and what you think about Darby's comments in the comment section below. But there you go, guys. It's latest AEW news for you. Be sure to smash a like on the like button. Be sure to subscribe. Bottom right-hand corner. As always, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, and I'll speak to you again very, very soon.
Hey guys, thank you for watching, listening, streaming, or however you come across this video today. Be sure to click on the video on the right there to watch our next video, or click the bottom there to subscribe, or the bottom right-hand corner. Thank you very much, and I'll speak to you again very soon.